Welcome to episode 2 of my PlayStation 5 Let's Play titled Heartland of America in Griffin, Indiana, a mod map by ajFarmer. Please sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the adventure. Hello folks, welcome back to episode number 2. Little development happened after we left episode 1, while we went down and got all the equipment that we purchased at the store, at the farm store. The owner was telling me that the owner of Buckley Farms needed to have a field number 9, their primary field fertilized, and was offering pretty decent money to do it. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and taken our lime spreader that also does fertilizer and have gone ahead and filled it up with fertilizer and accepted a contract from Mr. Buckley. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and make a couple of passes around, and then we're going to pass it off to my daughter so she can finish it. And while she's finishing that, then we'll go out and we'll go ahead back to our farm and we'll go ahead and start picking up that grass that we mowed earlier in episode 1. So let's go ahead and get this set up here, see if we can get spread decent. Go ahead and get a good level laid down. First time laying fertilizer, so this is going to be an adventure. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the fertilizer on. Let's go ahead and kick the cruise control on. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, that first episode was great. I'm learning. Definitely going to apply some of the things we learned in the first episode to the second episode. All of you that took the time to watch that first episode, thank you very much. All of you that have returned to watch my second episode, also thank you very much. What we're going to do here, like I said, is we're going to go ahead and do a couple of laps around this to get it started. Then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pass this off to my daughter. She's going to come down and finish up the center, finish up the easy part, while I go ahead and start on the grass back at home and get that silage clamp filled up so we can start getting that turned into silage. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and get this settled up. We'll turn on the music for you for a little bit. Sit back and relax, and in a couple of minutes I'll be right back. Thank you. folks, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get this stopped over here, get it all lined up and set up. My daughter, she's going to go ahead and take over from here. Let's get it all set up here. Yeah, it would be nice if it was free labor, but it's not free labor. They got to work too. They got to make their money. So here we go. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and hire my daughter to go ahead and finish off this field. We'll jump out here. Call my wife on the phone. She'll come down and get me. And I'll see you guys in a couple minutes back at the farm. Well, you know what, guys? I got back here at the farm and I got looking at this loading wagon, and I got looking at this big old tractor right here. And you know what we did? We sort of messed up. You know, this tractor, we should have sent this tractor down to do the fertilizing, because I went ahead and tried to hook this big old tractor up to that loading wagon. Yeah, it didn't work out too well. So what we're going to do here, while we're working on the load, well, she's worked down there, we're finishing that field up, what we'll do is, so we're not sitting around wasting time, we're going to go ahead and start doing some soil sampling over here on our field, on field 1. Yeah, call it a newbie mistake. You know, like I said, we'll learn. We're all going to make some mistakes, so, I mean, all I can do is hope that I can learn from them and not repeat them again. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this soil sampler here hooked up on this big old tractor. I know it's slightly overkill. 300 horsepower for a little soil sampler. Yeah. You know, almost like Texas, you go big or go home, right? So let's go ahead and get this set up. This is all new to me, by the way. You know, this also reminds me, while we were gone, that also set the RTK station up over by the garage area, the trolley, the workbench trolley. So it can help improve our quality of yields and our rate of laying fertilizer and lime down. You know, definitely help in that aspect. So I'm new to all this, so let's go ahead and see if we can get this figured out and see what I can get learned here. So we'll take a sample. Go ahead and move down the field some more. Take another sample. Yeah, we'll take some samples here, and that one's done. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get some soil sampling done while she's off getting that field fertilized. Yeah, never done anything like this before, but I've read that it's important that you do a good soil sampling on your land. Help you improve the amounts of lime and fertilizers that you need to be able to get the most quality out of your land and the best returns, you know, for your investment. You know, this stuff's not cheap. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can get pulled over here a little more, get a little more coverage. Looks like I'm outside the border there quite a bit. Yeah, like I said, this is all new to me. You know, I never imagined that we'd be taking soil samplings and send them off to, you know, geologists and scientists to help analyze to see if we could get better yields. But if that's what farming is today, then that's what farming is. You know, it applies to a younger age at that part. Once you get more computerized and stuff like that into it, and start getting more into the scientific of it, you know, it's sort of becoming new age farming compared to the old way of, you know, the way my grandfather and your father and your grandfather and their grandfathers did it. You know, back in the day, You know, up where I am in New England, I haven't heard of anybody doing much in the way of soil sampling of their fields, you know, to help improve their yields. I mean, I hear about it all the time on shows like, I know that Millennial Farmer does it. I would imagine most of the big YouTube guys, big farmers, must have to do it, you know, to be profitable. You know, so what we're going to do is we're going to do it too. You know, because that is our goal. Our goal is to be profitable. Now, what I'll do is I'll continue on with doing this. Check back in with you guys when it's all done. See you shortly. And there we go, folks. Moving in here for this last sample. We'll go ahead and drop this sampler down. We'll get this soil sample. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and send them away. Now it looks like we've taken 17 samples for field number 1. I probably could have gotten away with it doing a little bit less samples, but you know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and send those samples in for analysis. There we go. Let's go ahead and lift the soil sampler. Let's go ahead and fold it up at the same time. And let's go ahead and head back to the farm. What we'll do is once we get back to the farm, I'll take Chuck, we'll go down and take a look at, check on how my daughter's doing. Fertilize that field, see if she's almost done, because when she gets done, well, actually, maybe what we'll do is we'll maybe switch tractors. Hook that fertilizer up onto this one, we'll send her off to do another field. While she's doing another field, I'll go ahead and take the John Deere 6M, hook it up to the loading wagon, and go ahead and get these fields done. Well, let's go ahead and get this unhooked first. Put it back in its spot. There we go. I'll detach that. And we're headed down. Well, yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. I think we'll go ahead and drive down. See how much progress she's done. Oh, looks like our soil samples are analyzed. Let's go ahead and pull off the road here for a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at those on my tablet. Let's go ahead and stop here. Let's go over here to the tab. Let's take a look at it. It looks like we got some silty clay, some sandy loam, and some real loam mix. It looks like that upper part gets a little silty clay, so that'll help. What I can do now is I'll go ahead and get this field plowed in, because it definitely says that it needs plowing. You know, it says it's cultivated, but if you also go over it, it looks like it says it needs plowing too. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this plowed up. Yeah, that's another reason why we need to do another fertilizing contract. We need to be able to buy a plow. we'll get this plowed up, and then we'll get it lined, fertilized. You probably have to do regular fertilizer to start with, because we ain't got access to a manure spreader yet. See how much we make off contracts. Maybe I'll be able to get a manure spreader and buy some manure. I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look around town, see if there's any available, or some slurry. I mean, that's the big reason why we need to get this silage clamp going on silage, so we can get at least some digestate. We can get a slurry spreader, and we'll go ahead and start spraying that, putting that down in for the organic fertilizer that we need. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and head down, check on her progress, and I'll be right back with you guys when I get there. See you in a few. Okay, looks like she's all finished. So let's go up there and we'll switch, get this turned around. We'll get that tractor unhooked off that spreader. We'll get this tractor hooked up to the spreader. We'll send her over to get filled back up with fertilizer again. And we'll set up another job for her. The farm store owner has a contract for us coming up. He didn't give me the specifics. I'll have to talk to him on the phone to get it, but we're basically going to be moving right back into another fertilizing job here in a minute while I go back home and start getting that grass into the silage. But let's go ahead and get this switched back over. Then she can go ahead and start getting this filled. Take the big old tractor here and go start doing some more fertilizing jobs for us. Because at this point in time, things are a lot more expensive than I thought they were. So we definitely need some cash flow incoming, and the best thing to do right now is to do contracts. So what I'll do is I'm going to go get her set up with some fertilizer, and I'll meet you guys back at the farm to go ahead and get that loading wagon set up so we can start collecting that grass so we can get that silage clamp filled out. See you guys shortly. Okay. Well, I've gone ahead and sent her back to biogas facility. There's they also sell seed and fertilizer there to go ahead and fill back up the spreader. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the store so we can get collected on our contract and get paid. And while I'm there, I will probably see if he's got any other contracts available. So let's go ahead and pull in here to the store. Pull in here to the store. Only in small town America will you ever see a farm tractor pull into a parking spot. Get out of the parking spot. Let's go ahead and go and talk to him. Go ahead and talk to him right here. Right here. Select all the way up. Here we go. There's our contract right there. Let's go ahead and collect. Let's go ahead and take a look at what he's got available for contracts. I think I saw a pretty good contract on Field 19. So let's go ahead and accept that contract on Field 19 right there. What I will do right here now is I'm going to take this, let's call it back in the tractor. We'll go over to the biogas facility where she's getting seed. We'll go ahead and switch. I'll go get the headlands run for her while she takes this tractor back to the farm, so that we'll be able to, once she takes over for me, then I'll be able to go back and do all the windrowing. Not windrowing, load wagon. Yeah. Getting messed up with my terminology here. That's what you get for being a city boy trying to do farming. Trying to live in the heartland of America. I really do hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. This being the second episode. Please, constructive criticism is definitely welcome. Don't be afraid to leave me a comment and let me know what you think of the series so far. Right here, let's go ahead and pull up here. Go ahead and switch tractors. We'll let her take that back home. Let's go ahead and jump into the big boy here. Oh man, you gotta love the sound of that tractor. That throaty deep sound. There we go. Let's go ahead and head down to field 19 and see what we can do. We'll get that headland started for her. We'll have the wife bring her down the truck. She can take over from me, then I'll get a ride back. So when I get back, then I'll be able to get that grass picked up. So I'm sitting on 82,000 now, not bad. Got a couple of thoughts on what direction we may want to go with our money. Not sure yet. I'll have to think about it a little bit more. Maybe think about it after this episode. Definitely think about maybe buying a harvester instead of having to hire somebody to do our harvesting. I could actually do it myself. I've heard there might be an international harvester just come on the market. Fairly small. I think it's a 2143 or something of that nature. I think it can be bought now for about 50,000. So I mean, that definitely would put a little dent into our income that we have, but you know, it also saved me from having to hire out somebody to actually come harvest field 13 for us. I mean, if we take a look at field 13 right now, you know, let's go ahead and take a look at field 13. You know, it's in its last growth stage. So we'll definitely, hopefully next episode we'll be harvesting, you know, we'll be harvesting field 13 next episode. You know, we'll also be doing that. We also got to get a plow. You know, we got to get that plowed in. We got to get it limed. We got to get it fertilized. I'll have to see what options there are on organic fertilizer for us to start off with. Like I said, I'm not sure what is available to buy locally yet. I'll have to hunt around, see if I can buy a dealer, find a dealer in slurry or manure, find out what's available. Here we are. We're here at field 19. Let's go ahead and get the headlands done. See what we can do with this. See if we can make some more money. Let's go ahead and turn this fertilizer spreader on. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit so we can see the flow rate right. There we go. Turn the cruise control on. Let's cruise around and talk for a little bit. Yeah, get some practice in at my blogging. Get some blogging practice in. No. What's Zach Johnson say on Millennial Farmer? Keep it between the rows. Yeah, let's see if we can keep her between the rows. Not sure if that's possible or not, but you know, like I said, I am new, but we'll definitely give her a try. You know, we got big plans. I mean, I'll take any suggestions on what you think the next step ought to be on the farm progression. You know, I'm sort of waiting on the harvest of field 13 before I get chickens. You know, I'm waiting a little bit on silage, so you know, field 13 will also give us a little bit of straw to go for the cows. You know, I'll be able to mix that with a little bit of silage to be able to start some TMR once we get. I need to mow. You know, tether and windrow that field on field 33 for some hay. You know, once we get all that going, then we'll be able to start doing some cows. You know, well, you know, I think my next step should be focusing on maybe getting a money crop in on field 1. You know, I gotta get a plow. You know, depending on what I buy for a seeder, you know, I may need to buy a cultivator too to cultivate it. You know, I'm not sure what's available for direct drills. You know, where direct drills and fertilizers, maybe we can save some time by getting one that fertilizes two at the same time. You know, I've heard there's a new a new cultivator out from Vladistad, I believe it's called. It's fairly cheap, I guess. It might be readily available for us. You know, if that's the case, that'll definitely be something we'll look at. You know, there might be, you know, we might be able to find a Jeep planter around, you know, planter or cedar. You know, definitely thinking we probably ought to do, you know, as much as I want to do a money crop the first time around, and we probably ought to do something to give us more straw. You know, we got to build up that reserve of straw so for the cows. You know, I want to try to be somewhat self-reliant here. You know, I don't want to go into debt too far. I really do not want to take a loan out. You know, I'd rather not lease equipment if I can get away with it. My goal is to be completely debt-free, lease-free. I don't want to lease anything. If I'm going to use it, I'd rather buy it. I'm just that way, you know what I mean? You know, even if it's a 1 or 2 use thing, I'm more apt to buy it than I am to lease it. Just the way I am, the generation I grew up in. You know, maybe from the suburbs and the city, but I am definitely old school still. So, like I said, I am in my mid to late 40s. You know, we think differently than the kids of today do. You know, many of the farmers of today. You know, a lot of the younger generation that's taken over, like, Tom Pemberton from Tom Pemberton Farms, the Larson boy from Larson Farms, I believe his name is Chet. Then you got to look at it, you know, Zach Johnson. I mean, granted, he's in his 30s, but he's still, you know, different generation. You know, just the way things are done then, you know, the way we did things at their age to the way they do them now is totally different. But a lot of that is technology too. You know, trying to learn how to use technology is a challenge sometimes for, you know, middle to late generational people in today's society. But enough of that technology talk. Let's get back to farming. So yeah, like I was saying, you know, any suggestions would be helpful. You know, I'm not sure which direction we ought to go with the farm. You know, which crop I ought to do next. I'm thinking we might want to try soybeans, just so we can have the best money maker. You know, but I'm definitely open to a lot of suggestions. You know, the northern New Englander in me, it says we ought to do potatoes, but, you know, that's such a slow and dirty business. You know, literally dirty business, because you're playing in the dirt, literally constantly. And the other thing I'm not sure I like about potato harvesting is I haven't really seen something for a machine that it just seems extremely slow for the payout. I mean, it seems like a lot of work for the amount of product that you get back and the amount of money that you receive back from it. So that'll definitely take some thought in before I do something like potatoes. I might do potatoes on a small scale. I mean, if I ended up coming up with a small field someplace in which I may do a small field, you know, where we're going to put the greenhouses, you know, just to be able to utilize that land mass until we're able to afford to you know, erect the greenhouses in the farm shop. You know, ideally we'd like to be able to set a farm shop up there, you know, with some greenhouses. You know, the wife and the kids can sell some milk, sell, you know, other farm products there at the farm shop. You know, we can sell some eggs, sell some milk, you know, whatever else, beverages, you know, anything we can at the farm shop there. You know, and hopefully be able to get, like I was saying last episode, like at least 4 greenhouses up there. I'd prefer 6. You know, with a wide variety of vegetables. You know, and once we have the cattle for the manure, we'll definitely be all set in the fertilizer part of greenhousing. So that would be, I mean, I just see it as a way of paying for itself. You know, we also have the room on the farm side to No, not the farm side, on the barn side, on the barn across the road from the main house, you know, with the cattle barn and the hay barn. You know, we have enough land there to set up an orchard. You know, that may be something we look into too, is planting some fruit trees for long term. You know, I could definitely see some benefits to that. You know, what I think I'm trying to get at here is I really want to diversify. I don't want to be tied to one source of income. You know, if we're just tied to arable farming, then, you know, a bad year, then, you know, that's really going to hurt. I believe if we can spread that around to multiple sources of income, then we'll definitely have a better chance of succeeding. And we'll definitely have a better chance of being able to weather bad years. You know, if there's a bad year on the arable crop part of it, maybe we can make up that part of it on the dairy side of it. You know, the cattle side of it, or the egg side of it even. You know, that's all stuff that, you know, if we didn't diversify, we wouldn't have that option available to us. But yeah, that's definitely something that we need to think about doing. You know, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do another loop right here. Down this, and see if we can get this closed off right here. You know, I think I'm going to do a big U-E right here. Because I have a feeling if I send her down here and she's might have to miss this or have trouble picking it back up when she gets all the way down, get turned around and lose where she's at yet. You know, I haven't really got this tractor set up all the way yet with you know, satellite service, you know, and we're doing a contract field, so it's not like it's one of our fields, so you got to basically go by eye at this point, because we don't have the owner's data or the satellite system for the tractor yet to be able to go ahead and use his data to make sure we're fertilizing the right amounts, you know, in the right areas. Definitely something that we need to look into in the future. You know, that's the way things are today. Everything seems to be computerized when it comes to farming. You know, it's a lot of hands-free driving. You watch guys like the Walker Boys and Zach Johnson on Millennial Farmers. You know, even Cole the Corn Star and them guys, and you know, they sit around right around their harvesters, and they're harvesting their crop, and they're not even, you know, barely even touching the steering wheel. Basically, the only time they're actually steering on their own is probably at the end of a row. You know, get it turned around right and started back down the right way. Well, let's get back on here and get this last of this headline done. Well, what I'll do is I'll finish up this last pass. I'll meet you guys back when I get back to the farm, so we can start collecting that grass. Okay, talk to you guys later. Well, we've just gotten back to the farm here. Got the daughter going ahead and getting started on field 19. She's going to finish that up with the big old boy John Deere. That good old tractor we got going there. While she's doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead here and hook up to the loading wagon with the 6M and see if we can get that grass picked up. You know, that was our primary goal coming into this episode, was at least getting the grass into the silage clamp and covered up so we can get it ready to turn into silage. So let's go ahead and get this hooked up and see what we can do. This class loading wagon got a pretty good deal on this. There we go. Let's go ahead and come down here. We'll start down this road and work backwards. We'll do there. Let's go ahead and unfold this one. Unfold the wagon here. Let's go ahead and lower the pickup. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Let's start picking up some grass. Okay, guys, I'm not gonna bore you with running around picking up this grass. What I'll do is I'll come back to you guys when I dump the first load into the silage clamp, and then I'll come back to you after the first silage clamp is full. I'll get back to you guys soon. We'll see you later. Well, there we go, guys. There's the first load of grass filled up. Maybe we cut a lot more grass than I thought we did. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take this over to the silage clamp and go ahead and get it dumped in there. You know, not sure how we're supposed to dump this in the clamp, but we'll go ahead and get it figured out. Like I said, this is all new to us, but we'll get it figured out. You know, 35,000 liters of grass and not even one pass around that field. I think we've got a lot of passes ahead of me. I might end up having to turn some of this to actually hay then. I really didn't expect we were going to get this much grass. See if we can back this in here. Okay, let's go ahead and start unloading. Probably really didn't do a very good job at that, did I? Probably not a great job at that, but we'll go ahead and get better at it. Okay, I'll see you back when I get this first clamp about full, or we're done picking up grass. See you then. Hello, folks. Well, back with all the grass. Finally got it all loaded. Before I go ahead and unload this here into the silage clamp, what I'm going to do is my daughter's been hard at work doing contracts all day, so I'll go ahead and show you what. As you can see, our money amount has raised up quite a bit. So I'll go ahead and show you those contracts now. Well, folks, as you can see, we made a pretty good chunk of change there. She worked hard today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this last load of grass unloaded here. As you can see, the sun's dropping pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is I'll unload this grass, then we'll probably call it the end of the episode. And before next episode, what I'll do is I'll get this compacted and covered up so we can start turning this into some silage. What I'd like to do is thank everybody for their patience with me. I'd like to thank everybody who's taken the time to watch my video to this point. I'd like to also thank everybody who's seen both videos and provided all the support. I thank you very much. If you'd like to support the channel even more, please subscribe, hit that like button, and definitely hit that notification button. My goal is for the next video to come out on Wednesday. Thank you all. We'll see you then. Bye.